Successful traders should always follow the line of least resistance. Follow the trend. The trend is your friend. Jesse Livermore, probably the best trader in history. Let's jump into these charts. We see stocks are mixed. Everything else is down. The S&P down for the day. We've seen the most weakness on this chart, and you can see it's slowly, let me blow that up for you, going red on Tuesday. Now we'll see what Wednesday holds for us, but again, if we start seeing a rollover going red, what do we see when we backtrack on these charts? When it goes red, it tends to stay red, doesn't it? Now, can we find anomalies? Here's one where it didn't work. We did have a bit of a sideways slide. We had some movement down and then a doji spinning top, then another spinning top, and then things popped up. So we go, and when did this happen? Back in November, December of 2021. We have to go all the way back there to find that anomaly. We find another one here, but again, not a setup like ours, not a sideways slide. There's one, and then it popped over. So again, are there possibilities those things can occur? Yes. Again, we go back to what was going on, the aftermath of COVID, going into COVID, those kinds of things. But again, how things have been lately, I do like to look back at, time periods and see how things go. I like to look back at about the same time of the year. I like to look back in the recent past. And again, the charts give us echoes of what may very well be occurring. We can see with our trend line where the 2 days fallen below it, lots of indecision there, lots of indecision on the half day too. But again, tending, sideways right now. We're waiting for some confirmation and more of a down move. We can see that volume, we're only 2 days into a 5-day candle, so we'll keep an eye on volume. Also, the volume heats up and things start to move down strongly, then of course that would cause us to pull the trigger on a short trade on SPY. Now, what is the short chart for SPY? That's easy. The single short is SH. This is the one we practice trade, and it goes up when the S&P goes down. Isn't that nice? It's liquid. It's easy to get into and out of, and I would encourage you to practice trade that if we do have things go negative and it pulls us in. That is where we are on the S&P. The Qs, again, not like the S&P. It's up again today a little bit, 0.11%, but you can see where it just keeps tracking up. Doesn't look like the S&P 500 with all of this sideways slide. Instead, the NASDAQ 100 keeps trying to move up. You can see on the 2-day chart, it's above the trend line. On the half-day chart, well above the trend line. So we'll keep an eye on the Qs also. Nothing at this point that would have pulled us out of the up trade once we jumped in back here when things went to the green doji, hard to call that one, but when things went to the green up candle, again, looking nice. Now, let's move on to 20-year bonds. Down again for the day, just what we've wanted to see. We, of course, saw things. We've talked about this being a ceiling for upward price movement once it bounced off of it last time. It took it a while, but it is now trending down decently. Price below that weekly trend line on both the half-day and the 2-day, which is what we want to see. We can see lots of price moving over the last 2.5 days heading down. What about gold? Well, gold gave us a red doji back on the 24th, the week beginning the 24th of April, then bounded up for the next 2 weeks. But now you can see going red this week, turning into a negative. Now the 2-day is just trying to push through. The half-day pushed through this morning, continued on this afternoon, down 1.25%. Has gold had its most recent run? Perhaps so. We will pay attention and see what Wednesday brings for us. Lastly, we'll look at Bitcoin. I've been telling you I want Bitcoin to move down for a while. Why? Because I want these charts to reset for us. I want the candlesticks to start giving us a good feel for what Bitcoin is going to do. We compare this weekly chart to the S&P. S&P, as I keep saying over and over again, friends, it goes from red to green to red to green to red to green, giving you the ability to jump in and ride an up move or jump in and ride a down move. We don't see that on this chart. It is sloppy. It is not the kind of thing we like to trade because we don't trust it. We've got to have a chart we trust that moves in discernible, definable, predictable patterns. That's where we are as we end the day on Tuesday. So appreciate you being with us. We always love to hear from you. cw@chartingwealth.com. Don't hesitate to reach out to us. And we, again, just appreciate you being here. Thank you so much, Patreon members, for helping underwrite the cost of the channel. And we hope you feel like you get your money's worth. We sure try to provide it with the extra trainings, the three-wave trades, the charting cryptos and commodities, and our weekly vertical crossovers that we provide you every week. Try to provide 20 of those. Thanks, friends.